Hi, welcome to Surfside's basement. This is where we keep all of our bindings and everything else. It's a nice quiet place to shoot a video. So I'm Duke and
I'm Jake.
We're going to show you how all these different lacing systems work for the boots that we carry. First boot I'm going to go over is a single BOA system. This boot is a 32 boot. Now I want to make it clear 32 makes other boots besides the BOA. They make a lace boot and they make a double BOA boot as well, men's and women's. So the reason that I want to go over this one is the original BOA 32 made, and Vans and several of the other makers the single. So the way this works is you simply pop out this dial, you open it up, you put your foot in because it's all loose. Then after you have your foot in, you simply push it in and you start twisting. As you twist, the whole boot becomes tight in a uniform manner. There's no way to adjust the lower and the upper like on some of the other boots, but it's quite a nice fit. To give you an example, I've used this boot before, and what happens is when you go to the parking lot or you're leaving the condo before you're going snowboarding, you'll put your boot on, and you might not even tighten it up at all if you have to drive a car, if you can drive a car with these on. But once you tighten them up, you walk to the lift line, and then you feel, oh, my foot is starting to mesh in better. So you give a couple more cranks, you walk to the lift line, and it feels like it's loosening up even more because everything's coming together. So you give it a couple of more cranks, you get on the chairlift, and you get on the snow, and you feel like, this still isn't quite tight enough. So you get a couple more cranks, you ride down the mountain, you get on their chairlift, and perhaps you got a little bit too tight and your foot starts aching a bit. Simply pop it out, you're good to go. It just loosens the whole boot up entirely. This is a really good system, super easy, super user friendly, and super durable. The next boot I'm going to go over is a Vans boot, and just like the 32, Vans makes other closure systems. But this one I wanted to illustrate because it's the dual BOA. So you have a BOA dial on the front, just like I showed you on the 32 earlier. And you also have one on the side. What these do is it controls the lower and the upper of the boot independently. So when I loosen up this BOA, the upper comes loose, but the lower stays tight. To loosen up the lower, I have to pop this one, and everything loosens up, and you can get your foot in it. Now, the difference between this and the original single BOA I showed you is you can do two things. You push that in, you tighten up the lower part of the boot, because a lot of people, especially freestyle riders, they don't like the upper as tight as the lower. Then you push in that dial and you tighten up the upper. And just like the other boot, you can walk around, tighten it here, tighten it there. I know a lot of big mountain riders, they'll get to the top of a cornice or something, it's something really heavy, and they'll just snug the heck out of down on these boots because you want to make sure you're in there. You want your foot to turn blue almost. Then when you get down, simply pop them, and you're good to go. It's super loose again. And then you dial yourself back in if you choose to. These are, again, super low maintenance, super durable, and it works really well. Another point I want to make about the BOAs, just like any other boot we carry, the Burton dual zone system, standard lace system, it would be wrong for me to say nothing ever breaks. Everything breaks. But the ratio of returns we get from these, or the Burton dual zone lace system that we'll show you later, is very low. We can fix them right in the store. These have been out a long time, as has the Burton dual zone lace system. And they're really, really good systems to use. Once you use these, it's hard to go back.
Hey guys, I'm Jake, and I'm going to be talking to you about the Burton dual zone lacing system, or their speed zone lacing. This boot is the Ion, and kind of show you how it works. So first of all, this is going to be a lot quicker than your standard lace-up boot. It's basically meant so you have speed and lacing up your boot. You don't have to worry about too much. Pretty simple. You basically unlatch these from both the pockets. They have one on both sides. One does the top system and one does the bottom system here. Basically pull forward on them, which actually loosens up the lacings on both sides, like so. Then after you have that, you can easily just open up the boot, and you see how it actually loosens up a bunch of lacings. Now something they've added new for this year is actually this dual zone pull tab. which actually loosens up both the zones evenly, which makes it a lot easier to open up the boot and just freeze the foot so you don't have to worry, about cramming your foot in there. It makes it really open entry. Now when you're closing it up, make sure you put the tongue in tight, and then all you do is when you have the boot, you pull down, pull both these tabs up, like so. Actually uniformly does the lacing down the front of the boot, and you just pull back, which actually locks in the lacing system so it won't come undone. Another good feature that they put in for the year is actually this little guard on the bottom. Some problems they had last year with, they say it was breaking, but actually the edge of your snowboard was cutting the line when if you were on the lift and you were resting on it. So they actually put a guard right there so they don't have that problem this year. And the last thing you do with this boot is you actually have these handy little holsters on the side, which hold the little, pull tabs perfectly. You just tuck those in. You can see one on both sides. And you just kind of tuck in the lacings and you're good to go. The next lacing system I'm going to talk to you about is your traditional lacing system. Now this is found on all range of boots from your beginner, softer boots, park boots, all the way up to your really expensive, nice, high quality, high-end boots. One thing they did nicely about this year is they actually changed the laces and they made it a lot more smooth and supple so you'll never rash your fingers when you're cranking down your boots. I mean, this is the tried and true lacing system. This has been preferred by a lot of people. This will be a great boot if it fits.